The starship Aurora Pathfinder drifted quietly through the dark sea of space, its silver hull reflecting the shine of distant suns. For many years, it had carried a mixed crew from Earth engineers, explorers, scientists, and dreamers, all united by the same goal: to find a new place where humanity could grow. Earth had not ended. It had simply become too small for human ambition. At the center of the ship, inside the command room, Commander Rylan Ward stood with his hands behind his back. He stared at the main screen, watching blue and green lights drift across a map of nearby star systems. His short brown hair looked slightly messy, and his eyes showed the tiredness of long travel. But there was still fire in them, the fire that had carried humanity this far. "Any new message from Earth?" Rylan asked. Beside him, Chief Communications Officer Lyra Hale checked the glowing console in front of her. She was one of the sharpest minds on the ship, calm and steady even when others panicked. Her fingers moved across the controls with skill. "No, Commander," she said softly. "It has been 8 days without a reply. The long-range channel is completely silent." Rylan's jaw tightened. 8 days was too long. Earth never stayed quiet for more than a few hours, no matter how far the ship traveled. The communication delay was normal, but total silence was not. Rylan looked around the command room. A few crew members watched him, waiting. He needed to stay strong. A commander's fear could break a ship faster than a meteor storm. "All right," he said calmly. "Keep scanning. We'll continue with the mission until we know more." Lyra nodded, but he saw the worry in her eyes. The heart of the ship, the engine hall, was one of the most impressive parts of the Aurora Pathfinder. Giant blue rings circled the main reactor, glowing like captured lightning. Here worked the person who understood the ship better than anyone else, Engineer Marcus Kane. He wore a simple shirt stained with grease, and a tablet device hung from his belt. His arms were strong from years of fixing heavy machines, and his face always carried a confident half-smile. Marcus tapped the side of the reactor and listened to the hum. It sounded good, steady, powerful, alive. The engine was like a heartbeat. As long as it was strong, the ship was safe. Just then, Cadet Sana Liu rushed in, her short black hair bouncing as she ran. "Sir, we detected a strange energy wave outside. Command wants you to check if it affects the reactor." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Strange energy? What kind of strange?" "That's the problem. We don't know," Sana said. "It doesn't match any star or nebula pattern." Marcus wiped his hands on a cloth. "All right, let's take a look." Together, they walked to the main diagnostic panel. Marcus pressed a few buttons, and a hologram floated above the console, a soft pulse of green energy moving through space like a slow heartbeat. But the pattern was too sharp, too controlled. It wasn't random. "Someone is sending this," Marcus murmured. "This is artificial, not natural." Sana swallowed nervously. "Human?" Marcus shook his head. "No. Or at least, not from Earth." The discovery. Back in the command room, Rylan listened as Marcus explained the findings to the entire senior crew. "This wave isn't dangerous," Marcus said, pointing to the hologram. "But it's clearly a form of communication. Someone is sending a repeating signal across space." Lyra leaned forward. "Can we decode it?" Marcus shrugged. "Not yet. The structure is too foreign." Rylan frowned. First, Earth went silent. Now, an unknown message appeared. None of this felt random. "Can we trace where it's coming from?" Rylan asked. "Yes," Lyra said, tapping the map. A small bright point appeared on the edge of the screen. "It is coming from a star system just outside our planned route. The source is located on a planet, not in space." Rylan stared at the point. Humanity had traveled far, but they had never received a message from another intelligent species. If this was real, it would change everything. "Is it close enough to investigate?" he asked. Marcus crossed his arms. "It will take some time, but yes. With the new reactor, we can get there faster." The rest of the crew watched, waiting for the commander's decision. Ryland felt the weight of their hopes and fears. Humanity had always been bold explorers, fighters, builders, They survived storms, wars, and empty oceans long before they ever touched the stars. They could not turn away from the unknown now. "We change course," Rylan finally said. A murmur of excitement filled the room. Even fear mixed with wonder. "Commander," Lyra said quietly, "if this alien signal is connected to Earth's silence, we must be careful." "I know," Rylan replied. "But we won't hide. We're human. When something calls us, we answer." The journey into the unknown. The Aurora Pathfinder changed direction smoothly, and the stars outside its windows stretched into bright lines as the engine increased power. The crew prepared for the new mission with a mix of tension and energy. In the medical bay, Dr. Elena Faros inspected the equipment. She was gentle, patient, and always calm. She checked every scanner and every emergency kit. If the crew found something dangerous, she needed to be ready. In the training hall, soldiers practiced with light weapons. They were not going to war, but they needed to be prepared for any danger. Among them was Lieutenant Jonah Trent, a man known for his bravery. He always said, "Hope for peace, train for trouble." In the observatory dome, Lyra sat alone for a moment, staring at the stars. The unknown signal repeated softly through her headphones, a rhythmic pulse, slow and steady, almost like a heartbeat. It felt like something calling, not in fear, but in expectation. "Who are you?" she whispered. For a moment, the signal responded with a slight shift in tone, almost like it heard her. She sat up straight, surprised, but then it returned to its normal pattern. Was she imagining things? The first disturbance. 5 days into the new route, something unexpected happened. Rylan was in the command room when Lyra suddenly gasped. "Commander." The signal changed. The screen flashed as the pattern rearranged itself. Instead of the simple pulse, the energy wave now formed a more complex structure, almost like a code. "It's evolving," Lyra said, "as if it knows we are approaching." Marcus appeared moments later, breathing hard from running. "Commander, something strange is happening in the engine. The reactor's output is rising on its own slightly, but not dangerously." Rylan turned to him. "Are you saying the signal is affecting our ship?" Marcus shook his head. "Not the signal. Something else. Something small, but intelligent." Rylan felt a chill. "Explain." Marcus took a breath. "There's a new energy signature inside the ship. It's tiny, like a spark, but it moves as if it's alive." The command room fell silent. A living energy form? Inside the ship? As if to answer their fear, the lights dimmed for a moment. A thin white glow slid across the ceiling like a soft ripple of water. The crew stepped back in shock. "It's here," Lyra whispered. Rylan stared at the glow. It wasn't aggressive. It didn't burn or break anything. It simply drifted like a curious creature exploring a new environment. "We don't attack," Rylan said firmly. "If it wanted to harm us, it already could. We watch. We learn." The glow paused, almost as if listening. Then it blinked one soft flash and drifted into the hallway outside. A message, a greeting, or a warning. Rylan took a slow breath. The white glow floated slowly through the hallway of the Aurora Pathfinder, leaving a soft shimmer behind it. It moved like a small ribbon of fog mixed with starlight. The crew followed it from a distance, unsure if it was dangerous or friendly. Commander Rylan Ward walked at the front of the group. His eyes stayed sharp, but he kept his weapon holstered. He did not want to scare the strange visitor. Behind him, Lyra Hale, Marcus Kane, and a few security officers followed in silence. No one spoke. No one wanted to break the strange peace in the air. The glowing entity stopped at a corner, pulsed brightly once, and then slipped through the wall, passing straight through metal as if it were only mist. Marcus blinked in surprise. "It can move through solid matter. That means it's not made of anything physical." Rylan frowned. "But it interacts with our ship." "It changed the reactor output. It touched our systems." Lyra gently touched her earpiece. "The alien signal." It shifted again. "The new pattern lines up with the glow's movements." Rylan looked at her. Are you saying this thing is sending the signal? Maybe, Lyra said. Or it's responding to something else that is sending it. The commander exhaled slowly. One mystery was turning into 10. The ship holds its breath. The glowing visitor drifted through different rooms of the ship medical bay, cargo hold, and the observatory dome. Everywhere it went, the ship's lights dimmed just a little, and a soft hum filled the air. It was not a threatening sound. It was almost musical. Dr. Elena Faros watched the glow enter the medical bay. Her heart raced, but she forced herself to stay calm. She carefully lifted a small scanner, not pointing it directly at the creature but near her own chest. Pretending to check herself, she did not want it to think she was trying to attack. The scanner beeped once, capturing data. "Elena to command," she whispered. "It doesn't show any biological structure. It's pure energy. But stable, controlled, like a living electrical field?" Rylan asked through the communicator. "Yes," she replied. "Not harmful so far, but very advanced." The glow floated near the medical beds for a few seconds, then pulsed softly, almost like a greeting, and left the room. Elena let out a breath she didn't know she was holding. A message in the dark. That night, if one could call it night in a ship that created its own day and evening cycles, the crew gathered in the command room. They needed to decide what to do next. On the main screen, Lyra displayed the alien signal. The pattern had changed again. Lines of glowing green symbols ran down the screen like an unknown language. Marcus leaned forward. "It's evolving too fast. This is not random. Something is trying to talk to us." Rylan crossed his arms. "But we can't understand it." "Not yet," Lyra said. "But I discovered something important." She tapped a button. The symbols on the screen rearranged themselves, forming two repeating patterns. One looked like a star. The other looked like a planet orbiting that star. Marcus frowned. "That's the system where the signal is coming from." "Yes," Lyra said. "The signal is telling us to come." Rylan looked at the faces of his crew. Some were curious. Some were afraid. Some were both. Lieutenant Jonah Trent, the soldier known for his calm strength, spoke first. "Commander, the creature on our ship. It's scouting us. Learning about us. If it wanted to harm us, it would have done so already. I think it wants us to follow the signal." Marcus scratched the back of his head. "So, an alien creature broke into our ship just to give us directions?" "It didn't break in," Lyra corrected gently. "It phased in. That means it wasn't trying to hide. It simply doesn't see walls the way we do." Rylan thought for a moment. There were times in history when humanity feared the unknown so much that they missed great opportunities. But there were also times when curiosity led to disaster. "Tomorrow," he said finally, "we reach the outer edge of that star system. We will prepare for contact." The room fell quiet. No one argued. Humanity had wanted to find new life for centuries. Now new life had found them. The visitor returns. Just when everyone thought the glow had left, it returned brighter than before. It hovered near Marcus, pulsing in a slow rhythm, like a heartbeat. Marcus stepped back. Hey there." The glow responded with a warm flash. Lyra watched carefully. "It's communicating." "How do you know?" Marcus asked. "It's mimicking something familiar," she said. "Look at the rhythm. 1, 2. Pause. 1 to 2. That's the exact pace of a human heartbeat at rest." Marcus blinked. "It learned that from us?" "From the ship," Lyra said. "Our systems record every biological reading in the medical bay. It probably absorbed that data in a second." Rylan stepped forward. "What do you want?" The glow pulsed quickly 3 times, then slowly drifted toward the screen showing the star system map. It hovered over the planet where the signal originated. "It wants us to go there," Rylan said. The glow flashed once bright and clear. A yes. Then it spiraled upward and vanished through the ceiling, leaving the crew speechless. The first warning. 12 hours later, alarms echoed through the ship. Marcus rushed to the command room. Lyra was already at her station, her hands flying across the controls. "What happened?" Rylan demanded. "The alien signal changed again," Lyra said. "The tone is much higher. Faster. It looks like a warning signal. Rylan leaned over her shoulder. The green patterns on the screen had turned red, flashing sharply. Marcus stared. That looks like trouble. Jonah stepped inside the room. Commander. Long-range scanners picked up something. A huge structure near the planet. Metallic. Artificial. A station? Rylan asked. No, Jonah said. It's too big. Bigger than our entire fleet. Rylan's pulse quickened. And Earth still isn't responding? Lyra shook her head. Nothing. The silence was becoming unbearable. Just then, the familiar white glow appeared again. This time, it flickered rapidly, almost like a person out of breath. Rylan approached it calmly. What's wrong? The glow pulsed sharply 3 times fast, urgent. What does that mean? Marcus asked. Lyra checked the signal translation attempt. The new pattern aligned with the same triple pulse. It means danger, she said quietly. Something near that planet is dangerous. The glow drifted to the front window, facing the star system ahead, then flickered again. Jonah stepped forward. Commander, maybe it's warning us not to go. Rylan watched the glow carefully. But then, something unexpected happened. The glow changed color, turning a soft blue. It pulsed slowly, softly, almost sadly. What does that mean? Lyra whispered. Her console beeped. She looked at the translation attempt. It means, please. Rylan's eyes widened. The creature was not warning them away. It was begging them to help. The truth hidden in the signal. Lyra worked quickly, matching every symbol and pulse to the glow's communication patterns. After nearly an hour, she finally gasped. Commander, I found something. Everyone gathered around her station. The signal has 2 layers. The first one is the simple pulse we've seen, but the second layer is hidden and coded deeply. She tapped a button. A new message appeared on the screen. Static at first. Then, sound. Soft, broken, but unmistakable. A human voice. Aurora, Pathfinder, if you can hear us, Earth is in danger. The crew froze. Rylan felt his heart stop. Lyra boosted the audio. More words came through. Shaking, frightened, weak. We were attacked, not by ships, by something else. A wave of energy. Like a living storm. Jonah's fists tightened. A living storm? Like our visitor? No, Lyra said. Our visitor is smaller, gentle. The voice is describing something much bigger. The message continued. Please, reach the signal source. Only they can help us. Humanity must survive. Then the recording ended in a long, painful hiss. No more messages, no more voices, only silence. Rylan slowly raised his head and looked at his crew. Earth was calling, not with orders, not with hope, but with fear. The glow still blue floated toward Rylan and pulsed twice. A plea, a promise, or both. Rylan drew a deep breath. Prepare the ship, he said. We're going in. The Aurora Pathfinder moved quietly through the dark space as it approached the mysterious star system. The alien signal became stronger with every passing hour, repeating its deep rhythm like a distant heartbeat. Everyone on the ship felt the tension rising. This was not just an exploration anymore. It was a mission connected to Earth's sudden silence and possibly humanity's survival. Inside the command room, Commander Rylan Ward stood tall, staring at the large front window. Ahead of the ship lay a bright blue star, and circling it were 4 planets. One of them, the third planet, covered in green and white shapes, was the source of the alien signal. Planet in visual range, Lyra Hale announced softly. Atmosphere stable. Plenty of water. High energy readings. Something is alive down there. Rylan nodded. Prepare for orbital scan. Behind him, Marcus Kane checked the engineering panel. The engine hummed steadily, glowing like a calm blue fire. Reactor stable. Shields ready. But we're picking up strange energy pockets around the planet. Nothing harmful, just unusual. Lieutenant Jonah Trent stood near the door, arms crossed. His soldier instincts were sharp. Unusual energy usually means unusual trouble, he muttered, but Rylan didn't let fear cloud his voice. We came here because Earth asked for help. We won't step back now. And yet, even he could not ignore the nervous feeling in his chest, the silent guardian in the sky. As the Aurora Pathfinder entered the orbital path, the crew finally saw the giant structure Jonah had scanned earlier. It wasn't a station. It wasn't a ship. It was a colossal ring floating in space so large that the Aurora looked like a tiny insect next to it. The ring glowed softly with shifting blue energy. Patterns and symbols crawled across its surface like living runes. Everyone in the command room stared at it in awe. "What is that?" Marcus whispered. Lyra checked her scans. "It's made from some kind of energy metal. Not fully solid. Not fully liquid. It's alive. In a way." Jonah frowned. "A weapon?" Rylan shook his head slowly. "No, it's not targeting us. It's just watching." The glowing visitor, the small white energy creature, appeared near the ceiling at that exact moment, brighter than before. It drifted toward the ring shown on the screen and pulsed twice. "It knows this place," Lyra said. Jonah stepped closer to the display. "Commander, if that thing belongs to whoever built the ring, we're dealing with a civilization far more advanced than us." Rylan nodded. "Which means we must be careful. And respectful." The alien creature flickered rapidly and then floated toward the hallway, as if asking the crew to follow. "It wants to guide us," Lyra said. Rylan turned to his team. "Prepare for descent. We're going down to the planet." "Rylan. We're going down to the planet, the green world below." A small shuttle separated from the Aurora Pathfinder and began its journey to the planet's surface. Rylan, Lyra, Marcus, Jonah, and Dr. Elena Faros boarded the shuttle, each with a different mix of hope and fear. The glowing visitor floated with them, humming like a soft tune in the air. As they entered the atmosphere, clouds swirled around the shuttle. Below them, the landscape unfolded like a living painting: huge forests, shining lakes, mountains taller than anything on Earth, and long silver rivers snaking through valleys. Marcus let out a low whistle. "This place is beautiful. Too beautiful," Jonah said quietly. "It looks untouched, like no one has walked here for a long time." Lyra pointed at the scanner. "The signal is coming from that point." On the ground stood a strange structure, a tall, crystal-like tower made of clear white stone. It glowed from within, pulsing like a giant heartbeat. The alien signal repeated in perfect rhythm with the tower's light. The shuttle landed nearby. The ground was soft under their boots. The air smelled fresh, like the first morning after rain. The glowing creature drifted to the tower's entrance and flickered. "It wants us to go inside," Elena said. Rylan took a deep breath. "Stay close. Stay alert." Inside the Tower of Light, the interior of the tower was empty at first, large, circular, and filled with soft white glow. The walls were covered in moving patterns of light. Like flowing water, the team stood in silence, unsure what to expect. Then the floor lit up with a soft blue circle. A hologram appeared. But it wasn't alien, it was human. A woman's figure stood in front of them, made of shimmering blue light. She wore a uniform similar to Earth's Science Division. Her short hair moved as if a breeze blew through it. Marcus stepped back in shock. "Is that a human?" Lyra's voice trembled. "Or a recording of one?" The hologram spoke. "If you are receiving this message," the woman said, "then humanity is in danger." The room went still. "My name is Dr. Amina Solari. I was part of an early deep space exploration team. Our ship was pulled into an energy storm." "An intelligent one," Jonah muttered. "A living storm, the same thing that attacked Earth." The hologram continued. "This planet's guardians, the Luminaris, saved me. They saved all of us here. They protect life. They understand the storm. But they cannot fight it alone." The glowing creature floated quietly beside the hologram, pulsing softly. Rylan watched the hologram carefully. "Dr. Solari, how can we stop the storm?" The hologram turned toward him as if it recognized the question. "You must find the core," she said. "The storm has a heart, a center. You must reach it. The Luminaris cannot enter it. Only humans can." Lyra frowned. "Why us?" Because the storm was not natural, the hologram said. It was created. And its creators designed it so only human energy signatures can survive inside it. The crew shared a stunned look. Someone created the storm. Someone targeted humans. The awakening of luminaries. Before anyone could speak, the tower began to shake. The lights brightened. The glowing creature pulsed rapidly, like it was alarmed. "Commander," Marcus shouted. "We're picking up a massive energy wave approaching the planet." Outside, the sky darkened. Clouds twisted unnaturally, forming a spiral. Bright arcs of lightning crossed the sky, but they were not natural lightning. They were white and red, curling like claws. Rylan raised his voice. "We need to get back to the shuttle." Goad. But before the team could move, a deep, echoing sound filled the tower. The walls changed color, shifting from white to deep blue. The hologram flickered. "The storm found this planet," Dr. Solari's recording said. "It follows the signal. You must leave, now." The glowing creature flashed brightly, urging them to move. Rylan commanded, "Everyone out." "Move." The team ran outside. The winds had grown violent. The sky above them churned like a living monster. Jonah yelled over the roaring wind, "Shuttle is ready, go." The glowing creature darted ahead of them. But instead of going to the shuttle, it hovered over the ground. No, not the ground. A hidden panel. The ground split open, revealing a deep underground chamber filled with thousands of glowing lights. Elena gasped. "Those are more of them. More Luminaris." Rylan realized the truth. This planet was a sanctuary, and the storm wanted to destroy it. A giant arc of red-white lightning smashed into a mountain nearby, splitting it apart. Marcus turned pale. "Commander, we won't survive liftoff in this storm." Lyra grabbed Rylan's arm. "The Luminaris opened that chamber for a reason. Maybe it's protective." The glowing creature pulsed rapidly, urging them downward. Rylan made his decision. "Go underground. Now." The team jumped into the chamber. The glowing creature followed. The ground closed above them. Darkness, silence. Only the soft humming of thousands of Luminaris filled the air. Then, the entire chamber lit up like a miniature sun. The storm hit the planet with full force. But underground, surrounded by the Luminaries, the humans were safe. For now. Rylan stared at the glowing creatures floating like a sea of stars. "They saved us," he whispered. Lyra nodded slowly. "And now, we must save them." The underground sanctuary pulsed like a living galaxy. Thousands of Luminaris floated around. Commander Rylan Ward, Lyra, Marcus, Jonah, and Dr. Elena Faros. Their soft glow filled the chamber with calm blue light, a sharp contrast to the chaos above. The storm raged on the surface, sending violent energy waves across the land. But down here, the air felt warm and steady, as if the planet itself was shielding them. Rylan slowly stood, brushing dust off his uniform. Around him, the others rose to their feet as well. "Is everyone okay?" he asked. Elena checked her scanner. "Yes." "No injuries." Marcus wiped nervous sweat from his forehead. "That was too close." Jonah stared upward, where the ground had sealed above them. "Commander, the storm isn't normal. It moved like it was hunting." Rylan nodded. "We know. The recording told us the storm is intelligent." Lyra stepped forward, her eyes fixed on the Luminaris around them. "But why did the Luminaris bring us down here? What are they trying to show us?" As if responding, the Luminaris began to drift toward the center of the chamber. Their bodies flashed in slow rhythm, creating waves of blue light. The glowing creature that had followed the crew since the beginning floated ahead, guiding them. "It wants us to follow," Lyra said. Rylan nodded. "Stay close. Let's move." The Chamber of Memories. The team followed the glowing creature deeper underground. The path was smooth, almost like carved glass, and full of soft, luminescent patterns. After several minutes of walking, they entered a wide hall filled with floating crystal structures. Each crystal contained fast-moving images, blurred shapes, strange landscapes, and flashes of symbols. Elena stepped closer to one crystal. "These are memories." "Whose memories?" Jonah asked. Lyra ran her fingers lightly across the glowing patterns on a crystal. The Luminaris. They are showing us their past. Rylan watched as the crystal images slowed. One scene showed a peaceful world full of tall towers and soft lights. Luminaris of different shapes floated freely in the sky. Their energy was bright and calm. Then the image changed. A dark red wave entered the sky. It moved slowly, twisting like a giant serpent. Every place it touched began to crack with burning energy. The Luminaris tried to defend themselves, but the wave broke through their shields like paper. Elena gasped softly. That's the same kind of storm attacking this planet right now. Lyra nodded. They fought it and lost. The next image showed a final desperate escape. A small group of Luminaris left their world, carrying something bright and precious deep inside their light forms. Marcus stared. So the storm destroyed their home? Yes, Lyra whispered. And now it's coming for us. The images faded as the crystal dimmed. Rylan's voice was steady. The storm is not just a natural danger. It's a weapon. Someone created it. And they tested it on the Luminaris before humans, Jonah added. Lyra clenched her fists. We need to find the storm's core. That's the only way to stop it. Rylan nodded. We will. But we need the Luminaris to guide us. The glowing creature pulsed in agreement. The path to the surface. The ground trembled again, stronger this time. Dust fell from the ceiling. Jonah stiffened. The storm is hammering the surface. It wants to break in. Elena checked her readings. We don't have much time. Marcus looked around nervously. Commander, if the storm breaks through this chamber, we won't let that happen, Rylan said firmly. Everyone get ready. If the Luminaris are taking us somewhere, we follow. The glowing creature drifted toward a tunnel sloping upward. Rylan gestured. Move out. They followed the rising path. The temperature changed as they climbed. Cold air rushed down from above, carrying the metallic scent of the storm. The sound grew louder. A low, angry rumble, like 1,000 distant drums. Finally, they reached a large cavern beneath the planet's surface. A glowing barrier separated them from the storm above. The storm's red and white lightning struck the barrier, but the energy bent around it like water around a stone. Marcus stared. This barrier. The Luminaris are creating it with their energy. Lyra nodded. But they can't hold it forever. The glowing creature floated ahead and pressed itself against the barrier. A small window of blue light opened just big enough for the humans to pass through. Jonah frowned. It wants us to go up into the storm? Elena shook her head. Not into the storm. Into something beyond it. Rylan approached the barrier. Through the opening, he could see a path of shimmering light leading upward. A bridge, Lyra said. A safe path through the storm. Rylan took a deep breath. This is our way to the core. He looked back at his team. This is the moment. Earth called us. The Luminaris called us. We answer. Everyone nodded. And together, they stepped through the barrier. The bridge of light. The moment they crossed the barrier, the world changed. The path beneath their feet was smooth and glowing, floating through the storm like a thin slice of safety. All around them, lightning struck wildly, twisting like living ropes. The sky churned with red and white spirals. Marcus held onto his helmet. This is insane. Lyra smiled faintly despite the danger. Beautiful, but terrifying. Jonah marched ahead, weapon ready. Commander, we're being watched. Rylan looked around. He felt it too. Something vast was observing them, judging them. Above them, the storm swirled into a shape. A giant eye made of lightning. It blinked. Elena stumbled back in fear. The storm is aware of us. The glowing path trembled under their feet. Rylan steadied himself. Keep moving. Don't stop. Lightning struck the path behind them, destroying part of it. The glowing bridge rebuilt itself seconds later, but slower this time. They're weakening, Lyra said softly. The Luminaris are struggling. The path bent upward, leading toward a pillar of energy stretching from ground to sky, the core of the storm. It glowed with red fire, spinning faster than a hurricane. Rylan's voice grew heavy. That's it. That's the heart. Elena checked her scanner. The energy inside is unstable. If we reach the center, we might disrupt it. Or it might kill us, Marcus muttered. Rylan looked at each member of his team. We knew this wasn't going to be safe, he said quietly. But humanity doesn't run from danger. We face it. The path carried them closer and closer to the core. The storm's eye narrowed, watching their every step. The guardian of the core. They reached a platform at the edge of the core. The storm roared around them like a living creature in pain. Then something rose from the swirling energy. A shape, tall, dark, and made of crackling lightning. Its form shifted constantly, sometimes like a human silhouette, sometimes like something alien. Lyra whispered, "It's a guardian, made by the storm." Jonah raised his weapon. "Commander, permission to—" "No," Rylan said. "It's not attacking yet." The lightning guardian pointed a long, glowing arm at them. A voice echoed inside their minds. "Humans, you should not be here." Elena flinched. "It can speak." The guardian's voice thundered again. "Turn back, or be destroyed." Rylan stepped forward, fearless. "We're not leaving. Earth is in danger. And your storm is the cause." The guardian's form darkened. The storm around them grew louder. "You cannot stop the core." Rylan shook his head. "Maybe we can't, but we will try." The guardian reacted instantly. A bolt of lightning shot toward the team, but before it hit, the small, glowing Luminaris creature flew forward, its body blazing bright white. It blocked the attack, bursting into a wave of light that pushed the lightning back. Lyra screamed softly. "It protected us!" The guardian staggered, shocked. Rylan clenched his fists. "The Luminaris trust us," he said. "Now we fight for them." He stepped onto the final glowing platform, the one leading directly into the storm's core. Behind him, the storm roared like a furious beast. Ahead of him, the path to the heart of the storm waited. Rylan took his next step, humanity's step. The glowing bridge shook under Commander Rylan Ward's feet as he stepped forward. The storm's core swirled ahead, a massive column of red and white energy stretching into the sky like a living tornado. Jagged lightning twisted around it, forming the shape of a giant heart, beating at an impossible speed. Behind him, Lyra, Marcus, Jonah, and Dr. Elena Faros followed, each fighting fear as the storm roared. Every sound felt like thunder mixed with an angry voice. And somewhere inside that storm, the fate of Earth waited. The small Luminaris creature, now dim and tired after blocking the Guardian's attack, hovered weakly beside them. It pulsed faintly, encouraging them to continue. Jonah whispered, "Commander." "The little guy doesn't have much energy left." Rylan nodded, sadness in his eyes. "We won't let its sacrifice be for nothing." Lightning crashed across the sky, shaking the ground. The storm grew stronger, as if it sensed their determination. The core reveals its true form. As they reached the final platform, the swirling energy parted. A shape emerged from the center of the storm, not like the earlier guardian, but far more powerful. This one was enormous, its body made of twisting lightning and red fire, shifting like smoke and shadow. Its voice echoed directly into their minds. "You do not belong here." Elena gasped and fell to one knee. "It's overwhelming." Lyra grabbed her arm. "Stay with us." Rylan stepped forward. "You attacked Earth. You destroyed the Luminaris home. Why?" The storm creature's shape changed, forming a face empty, cold, without emotion. "Humanity must be tested." "Tested for what?" Jonah growled. "To see if your species can survive the coming age." The creature answered. "The weak fall. The strong evolve. And one. And I." Marcus clenched his fists. "You destroyed worlds, just to test them?" "Yes," the creature replied. "To protect existence itself." "Migrist." Rylan's voice grew firm. "You're not protecting anyone. You're killing innocent life." The storm creature crackled with bright red sparks. "If you want the storm to end, enter the heart. If you reach it, the test ends. If you fail, all human worlds fall." Rylan exchanged a look with his team. This was it, the final challenge. The creature extended a stairway of glowing energy, leading into the spinning core. Choose, it said, and then the storm went silent, waiting. The final decision. The crew gathered close. Jonah crossed his arms. Commander, this is a trap. It wants us inside, so it can crush us. Elena shook her head. But the recording said only humans can reach the core. The Luminaries can't. That means we matter in this fight. Marcus sighed. I'm not afraid of machines or aliens. But storms with brains? That's new. Lyra stepped beside Rylan. I think the storm wants to see what humans do when facing fear. If we run, it wins. If we step inside, we show what humanity really is. Rylan looked at each of them, friends he trusted with his life. We go together, he said. The group nodded. Even the small Luminaris creature pulsed with a faint light, agreeing. Rylan faced the ascending path. Let's finish this. Into the heart. The moment they stepped onto the glowing stairs, the storm closed behind them like a giant mouth. But the path held firm, glowing brighter with each step. Inside the core, everything looked different. The air shimmered with gold and red sparks. The walls swirled like liquid fire. A deep hum vibrated in their bones. Rylan felt the energy pressing against him. It was heavy, like invisible hands pushing on his chest. Elena breathed hard. This place. It's alive. Marcus scanned the air. It's full of quantum particles. A human body isn't supposed to survive here. But the path kept protecting them, a thin ribbon of blue energy created by the Luminaris. Jonah glanced back at the small, glowing creature. Its light flickered. Almost gone. Stay strong, little one. The creature pulsed weakly. Ahead, at the center of the blazing storm, they saw it. A glowing sphere, the heart of the storm. It pulsed like a beating heart, sending waves of red energy outward with every throb. Each pulse shook the path beneath their feet. Rylan whispered, "This is what's attacking Earth." Lyra stared in awe. "It's beautiful and terrifying." Jonah raised his weapon. "Tell me how we break it." Elena checked the scanner. "It's like a nervous system. If we can overload its energy balance, it might collapse." Marcus smiled despite the danger. "Now that I can do the sacrifice of light." The closer they came, the more the storm fought back. Red lightning shot across the platform. The path shook violently. Wind roared in their ears. The Luminaris creature floated forward and spread its fading light, creating a tiny shield around the humans. Every time a lightning bolt hit the shield, its glow dimmed more. "Elena!" Rylan shouted. "Will it survive this?" Elena looked at the trembling creature. "It's giving everything it has." A bolt of lightning struck again. The creature flickered violently. "No!" Lyra cried. The small Luminaris pulsed once bright and brave and shielded them again. Marcus clenched his teeth. "We can't let it take all the hits for us." Rylan nodded. "We finish this fast." They reached the final platform. The heart of the storm throbbed before them, glowing brighter than the sun. Rylan turned to Marcus. "What do you need?" Marcus tightened his gloves. "I can overload the core by syncing my engineering device to its pulse. But someone has to stand right next to it to connect the link." Jonah stepped forward instantly. "I'll do it." But Rylan placed a hand on his shoulder. "No. You're the strongest fighter. If something comes after us, we need you." Lyra stepped forward. "Commander, let me." Rylan looked at her. Her face was calm, steady, brave. He shook his head. "I won't risk you." Elena stepped forward next. "Then I will." "No," Rylan said softly. "This is my responsibility." He turned toward the core. Lyra's eyes widened. "Rylan, wait." But he stepped forward. The glowing creature floated beside him one last time, pulsing weakly. Rylan whispered, "Thank you for guiding us." The creature pressed its fading body against Rylan's hand. A warm light passed into him. Strength, courage, calm. Then the little Luminaris drifted back, its glow now barely a flicker. Rylan stepped onto the final circle. Marcus's device lit up as Rylan touched the core. The heart shatters. The storm reacted instantly. Lightning shot from every direction. The path behind them began to crumble. The Guardian roared from the center. Jonah fired at the lightning arcs, buying Marcus time. Elena held Lyra as the platform shook. The luminaris creature floated weakly, trying to shield them again. Rylan grabbed the core with both hands. A surge of energy shot through him, pain like fire. But he didn't pull away. Marcus shouted, "I'm syncing your heartbeat with the core. Hold on." The core pulsed harder, trying to push Rylan back. Rylan's voice roared over the storm. "Humanity doesn't run." The core cracked. A blinding flash exploded outward. Elena screamed. Jonah shielded his face. Lyra reached toward Rylan, and then everything went white. The new dawn. When the light faded, silence fell. The storm was gone. The sky was clear and blue again, peaceful as a morning on Earth. The ground beneath them was solid. The world around them was calm. Rylan lay on the ground, breathing weakly but alive. Lyra fell to her knees beside him. Rylan, can you hear me?" He opened his eyes slowly. "Did we?" Jonah laughed with relief. "You destroyed the heart, Commander. The storm is gone." Marcus looked at his scanner. "Energy levels are 0. No more threat." Elena wiped tears from her eyes. "Earth is safe." Lyra took Rylan's hand. "You saved humanity." But something was missing. The small luminaris creature, the one that had guided them all this way, was gone. Only a soft, fading glow remained where it had last floated. Lyra whispered, "It gave its life to protect us." Rylan looked up at the clear sky. "We won because we stood together. Humans, luminaris, all life." A soft blue shimmer spread across the horizon. Thousands of luminaris rose from the ground, glowing brighter than ever. They flew into the sky in celebration, a dance of light thanking the humans. Rylan smiled weakly. "Let's go home." Epilogue: The Message to Earth. Back aboard the Aurora Pathfinder, Lyra sent the first clear message to Earth in over 12 days. Storm neutralized, luminaris rescued. Humanity survived. Moments later, Earth replied, "Welcome home, Aurora Pathfinder. The world is waiting." Rylan stood at the window, watching the stars shine brighter than ever. Humanity had passed the test. Not by strength, not by weapons, but by courage, loyalty, and heart. The stars were open to humans now, because humans had proven they were worthy.